The X models always have that signature elegance and presence. They're large, stylish, and luxurious, and as you know, they're fast, some of them extremely fast. In this video, we'll walk through all the stages involved in manufacturing the X models, starting from the X2 all the way to the very special X7, all 2022 models. But before we begin, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Now let's dive into the fascinating world of BMW manufacturing inside the company's largest factory in Germany, specifically in Bavaria. Every day, around 1,400 cars of various models are produced here. This massive output is possible because the factory spans over 1.4 million square meters, with nearly 9,000 workers and over 1,200 robots involved in every detail of the production process. There are also separate production lines dedicated to each model. In this part, we'll take a look at the X2 production line. It all starts with huge metal coils, which are lifted by a massive crane to begin the first stage of production. These metal sheets are pulled and examined to ensure proper thickness and to detect any technical flaws. Once that's done, they move on to the next step. Now comes the actual start of production, the sheet metal cutting process. Large hydraulic shears are used to cut the metal precisely. Each part has different dimensions, so multiple hydraulic cutters are employed to handle the variety of components. Everything is controlled by a fixed, automated program, with no human intervention at this stage. After cutting, robots take over. Each piece is handled individually and sent to the pressing molds. These molds shape the various parts of the car's body from the steel sheets. Each mold is designed for a specific part, and each model has its own set of molds. These molds have a lifespan that can last up to 5 years, depending on pressure usage and wear. They're also replaced when a model is discontinued. Each mold is operated by 2 robots, one to insert the steel into the press, and another to remove the shaped part after pressing. The forming process is extremely fast but highly precise. Once shaped, the parts are transferred using a large lift to be prepped for the welding process. The 2 side panels, left and right, are moved together and positioned along with the chassis inside large assembly jigs to ensure precise alignment. Everything is monitored by a centralized control program. Then, 9 welding robots get to work. Each robotic arm is pre-programmed to weld a specific part. The full body is assembled in just a few minutes. This process is repeated every few minutes for a new car. Even though it's incredibly fast, it remains a highly complex operation. Once all panels are securely welded, the next phase is to cut the openings for the roof installation. The robots make this look easy, but if done manually like in the past, these roof openings would take a lot of time to get right. After that, the roof shell is installed, welded, and connected to the pillars and chassis. The key to a strong weld is perfect alignment and a clean surface at the contact points. Then, the car receives its passenger doors and trunk lid, along with the hood at the front. Up to this point, everything is still fully automated. Now we reach the first noticeable human intervention, checking the alignment and spacing between panels, especially doors and fenders, to ensure high-quality finishing. The gaps are inspected visually and measured for consistency. As for the trunk lid, it's assembled in 2 parts. The outer part is made of fiber-reinforced plastic to reduce weight. It includes part of the taillights, the BMW badge, and X-Drive branding if applicable. The inner part is a metal sheet that's already mounted on the body. The frame then moves along the assembly line. Depending on the parts being installed, the lift raises or lowers the car accordingly. Next come the stages of adding sound insulation components underneath and installing the hydraulic brake system pipes. This brings us to the electrical harness installation. It's placed and fastened carefully, with every connector plugged in precisely. This wiring links all the car's electrical components together. The fuel tank is then installed in place, with connections made to both the filler hose and the fuel pump line. Next, the antenna is mounted onto the roof and sealed along the edges using silicone. The second part of the trunk lid, made of reinforced plastic, is also attached easily by pressing it into place. At this section of the factory, the engines are being prepared, along with both front and rear suspension systems. All brake components are also assembled and secured so everything can be installed precisely in its final position. This car model comes with 4 petrol engine options and 3 diesel engine options, ranging from a 1.5-liter 3-cylinder up to a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine. Truly, it offers a wide variety of configurations in the crossover category. The engine is mounted along with the suspension unit, and the rest of the chassis is then slowly lowered onto it. Final suspension fittings and engine mounting are done to ensure everything is fixed fixed securely. The suspension system in this car offers a great balance between comfort and sportiness, a feature that makes it stand out among its competitors. The front suspension uses a McPherson strut setup, which is common in small to mid-sized vehicles for its simplicity, lightweight, and good handling. The rear suspension, however, is a multi-link system, which provides enhanced stability, especially around corners and at high speeds. After that, the front and rear bumpers, headlights, and front grille are pre-assembled to allow for quicker installation. These parts are mounted using dedicated lifts, which not only reduce physical effort but also simplify the assembly process. Once the exterior is fully assembled, the car moves to the next phase, wheel alignment using a laser-guided system, known for its extremely high accuracy and time efficiency. After alignment, all electrical and electronic systems are tested, including engine sensors, the battery, and loading and updating the ECU software. They verified that all components function properly. Brakes, lighting, steering, and internal displays are thoroughly checked. The vehicle is then moved into a testing tunnel, where it undergoes a dyno run to inspect engine sounds under various RPM levels and durations. Not every car goes through this test, but regular samples are taken to ensure quality control. After that, gap measurements and door seal inspections are done one last time to confirm there's no water leakage and that all panel gaps meet standards. At this stage, the car leaves the main factory, but there's one final step: testing the suspension system on a specialized track made of various surfaces, each simulating a different real-world driving condition. And with that, the final stage of production is complete. Now let's move on to a slightly larger model, so the X4. It's built on the same platform as the X3, but with a sport activity coupe design. This model also comes with 6 different engines, 3 petrol and 3 diesel. The petrol lineup starts from a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder up to a 3.0-liter turbocharged inline-6. This inline-6 engine is the most powerful of the group, producing 360 horsepower and 500 newton-meters of torque. We're not talking about the M-Power models here. Those are built at a different plant. The factory we're showing in this video only handles the standard X models. BMW has 6 factories in Germany, and the high-performance M-powered X models come from a different facility. As mentioned at the beginning, all these scenes are from Munich, in the state of Bavaria. Now, for this model, assembly continues with installing the interior plastic trims and securing the main wiring harness, which connects all the electronic components. Next, sound insulation is added underneath the car and near the fuel tank. The fuel lines and pump hoses are connected securely. Then come the electrical components, like the rear brake light, and the buttons on the trunk lid for opening and closing. Afterward, the roof lining is installed, which is made entirely of leather, along with the side curtain airbags and the roof airbags. The next step is to begin installing the interior components like the dashboard, which features a truly creative design, and of course, the seats. The front seats and rear bench are installed securely by pressing them firmly into position. Next, the external plastic trims, such as the door sills, are pressed into place. At this point, the vehicle heads over to be merged with the suspension system. Along the same assembly path, the engine and cooling system are also being prepared. The suspension setup in this model is similar to that of the X2, but it features more optional upgrades, especially in the higher trims. For instance, there's the adaptive M suspension, which automatically adjusts based on road conditions to minimize vibration and improve ride stability. Additionally, there's a sportier option. The fuel tank is installed in place, along with the filler hose and the pump hose. Then, the antenna is mounted on the roof of the car and sealed with silicone along its base. The second part of the reinforced plastic tailgate is installed easily by snapping it into place. In this part of the factory, engines are prepared along with the front and rear suspension systems and the brake system components. Everything is assembled and tightened, so each component fits precisely in its designated place. The car comes with 4 petrol engine options and 3 diesel ones, starting from a 3-cylinder 1.5-liter engine up to a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder for the petrol variants. Truly, this car offers a wide range of options in the crossover segment. After assembling the engine and the suspension, they are joined with the chassis, which descends slowly to allow for final mounting of the engine and suspension system. The suspension in this model offers a great balance between comfort and sportiness, setting it apart from its competitors. The front suspension uses the traditional McPherson strut system, common in small to mid-sized cars, offering reduced weight, simplicity, and decent handling. The rear suspension, on the other hand, is a multi-link system, which provides excellent stability, especially during cornering and at high speeds. Next, the front and rear bumpers, headlights, and front grille are assembled. Each component is prepared as a complete unit for quicker installation and lifted using specialized cranes to ease the assembly process. After that, the wheel alignment is adjusted using a high-precision laser device, saving time and ensuring accuracy. The electrical systems and software are then tested, including engine sensors, the battery, ECU updates, and checking the efficiency of brakes, lighting, and steering. Inside, all screens and infotainment systems are inspected. The car then enters a testing tunnel and is placed on a dynamometer to detect any engine noise at varying RPMs over a fixed period. Not every unit goes through this, but random samples are constantly tested for quality control. Following that, final gap measurements and seal integrity checks are performed to ensure there are no water leaks. At this point, the car exits the factory, but one final step remains: suspension testing. The vehicle must go through a dedicated track designed to test different aspects of the suspension system. Now let's move to the slightly larger model, the X4, which is built on the X3 platform but with a sport activity coupe design. This model is also available with 6 different engines, 3 petrol and 3 diesel. Petrol engines start at a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder turbo and go up to a 3.0-liter 6-cylinder turbo, with the top variant producing 360 horsepower and 500 newton-meters of torque. Note: we're not talking about M-Power versions here. Those are assembled at a different BMW facility. This factory in the video is located in Munich, Bavaria, and produces regular X models. In this version, the process begins with assembling the interior plastic components and installing the wiring harness to connect all the vehicle's electrical systems. Then, insulation is installed underneath the car and around the fuel tank, followed by connecting the fuel lines and pump hoses. Next comes the installation of rear stop lights and trunk buttons for open-close functionality. The roof lining is installed, made entirely of leather, and includes airbags, sunshades, and cylinders. The dashboard, a masterpiece of design, is mounted, followed by the front seats and rear bench, which are locked into place by pressure. Exterior plastic components like the side sills are also attached. Then, the vehicle is merged with the suspension system on the same production line. Engine and cooling systems are assembled similarly to the X2, but with more optional upgrades, especially in higher trims like the M Sport package. We're talking here about the adaptive M suspension, which adjusts automatically based on the road to reduce vibration and enhance stability, or the M Sport suspension, which is sportier, firmer, and provides more control. Once installed, the headlights and bumper frames are fixed. The lighting system has 2 options: the widely available LED lights and the more expensive adaptive LED lights offered in higher trims. Afterward, the airbag is installed in the steering wheel. The standard number of airbags in most trims is 6, but customers can increase that to 8 or even 10 airbags. All engine sensors, injectors, battery cables, and other electrical connections are linked. Then, the front and rear bumpers are mounted along with the iconic kidney grille. Next, finer details around the trunk and engine bay are completed, and the wheels are installed using hydraulic lifts to save time and effort. The battery is tested, and all engine compartment parts are sealed. Oils and coolants are filled. Just like with the X2, the X4 goes through various tests. Let's move now to the 5th model in this lineup, the X5. From my perspective, it's one of BMW's most important cars. The new design of the X5 is truly stunning. Built on a 3-meter wheelbase, it comes with 5 engine options. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.